The first time I ignored the old bookshop, I was running late for a job interview. The second time, it was pouring rain. The third time, I had no excuse except habit, eyes fixed on my phone, mind already at my destination. But on the fourth day, something made me pause. Maybe it was the way morning light caught the dust motes in the window, or how the faded sign, Crossroads Books, creaked slightly in the breeze. Whatever the reason, I found myself reaching for the door handle. A small bell announced my arrival. The shop was empty except for an elderly man arranging books on a shelf, his movements deliberate and precise. He didn't turn when I entered. "Just browsing," I said, though he hadn't asked. The shop was smaller inside than it appeared from the street, but somehow contained more books than seemed possible. Shelves stretched to the ceiling, creating narrow pathways that twisted deeper into the store. The air smelled of paper, binding glue, and something else. Something like expectation. I ran my fingers along spines as I wandered. First editions next to paperbacks, philosophy beside pulp fiction, no discernible organization. I turned a corner and found myself in a dead-end alcove with a single small table. On it sat one book. The cover was blank blue cloth, no title, no author. I opened it to find blank pages, except for the first, which contained a single line of text. "That one's not for sale," said the old man, suddenly behind me. I jumped. I wasn't going to... "Of course not," he smiled kindly. "Some books aren't meant to be purchased. They're meant to be written." He placed a fountain pen on the table beside the book. "I don't understand," I said. "Nobody does at first," he replied. "But understanding isn't always a prerequisite for beginning." The old man walked away, disappearing behind a bookshelf. I stared at the pen, then at the blank book. After a moment's hesitation, I sat down, uncapped the pen and began to write. When I finally looked up, the light had changed. Hours had passed. The pages before me were filled with my handwriting, my story, my choices, my crossroad. The shop was empty, even the old man was gone. I closed the book and found that it now had a title embossed in gold on the cover, The Echo of Small Choices by Maya Chen. As I stepped outside, the street looked different somehow. The colors more vivid, the sounds more clear. I tucked the book under my arm and turned right instead of my usual left. Some stories wait for the right reader, and some readers, I realized, wait for the right story to begin.